Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Dowd here, back from a weekend in sunny, Milwaukee. Well, at least it was sunny. My daughter medaled in 2 of the 4 events she competed in, which makes me one proud papa, which is great, but that's not what you came here for. You want to know what's up. So here's what's up. It's February 11th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. Speaking of Milwaukee, our top story was quite relevant to me over the weekend. Milwaukee has a thing that, frankly, all major cities should have. They have a skywalk system that allows you to get to many buildings in the downtown area without going outside. This is a really cool thing. Chicago has something similar, but ours is underground, which makes it both more cool and more creepy. But I digress. The other day, we were walking in the skywalk over to this burger joint with the most amazing burgers you have ever had. Sorry, digression. And as we exit the skywalk, we were just 1 block away from the restaurant. But we weren't sure if we had to go straight or turn left, and Google Maps was not helpful. As it turns out, in the not-too-distant future, it will be, because Google is integrating AR into its mapping software, and it has already rolled out a very closed beta to some high-level Google guides. I knew I should have reviewed more restaurants. This AR layer will use the phone's camera to take in your surroundings and then place arrows and text overlaid on top of the images to show you exactly where to go. David Pierce, who may or may not be listening right now, just saying, got to go hands-on with this new app, and he showed how it worked. Overall, it seems potentially useful, but I do have a caveat. This wasn't really shown in the video, but there is a Start AR button somewhere, and that somewhere is going to be critical for how well this is or is not adopted. Bad UI can kill even the greatest feature. If the button isn't noticeable, it won't interfere with your mapping experience, but no one will use it. But if the button's too large or in the way, people will hate it and want it gone. I can only hope that Google is testing the hell out of this thing, because I love AR and I love, not getting lost. So this seems like a great solution. Of course, I should back up and say that Google showed off similar concepts back at Google I/O last year. In that particular case, it was in the form of a fox that trotted out ahead of you to show you the way. Commenters on Gizmodo are organizing a riot if the fox doesn't make it in the final build, and rightly so. But overall, this seems like an awesome new feature that will be super useful, but only in that one specific use case where you're coming topside from a subway or exit a building. Truth be told, this is a feature that people will probably use for 5, maybe 10 seconds ever. But those 5 or 10 seconds will save them minutes of extra walking in the wrong direction, and will ease frustrations for people in those situations. It's awesome that Google frankly has the time and foresight to develop a brand new and not insignificant feature for this 10-second window that many people will use, once a month? Nice work, Google. You get our good on you for the day. But now it is time for the roundup. Android Authority has a write-up looking at what the OnePlus 7 needs to have to take on the best. Among the requested features are an IP rating for water and dust resistance, better camera, and wireless charging, and I agree on all of those points if OnePlus wants to take on the best. If, however, OnePlus wants to continue offering a high-quality phone for literally half of what its competitors charge, those are all corners that can and should be cut. If OnePlus wants to make a $1,000 phone, then this article is right on the money. Literally. Do your shoes know when you're getting fat? Mine sure as hell do, but that's the latest project from a company called Verily, a Google Alphabet project. These shoes will measure weight, movement, and falls, which when you think about it makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying I want to plug in my shoes every night just so my Nikes can tell me what a fatty I'm turning into, but I could see how these would be useful. What I need are a pair of smart gloves that refuse to close around the can of soda when I want to drink it. Maybe that'll be their next project. If you thought Amazon was big, you didn't know how big. The Atlantic has data on just how big the 288 million square feet of Amazon really is. It's 48 times bigger than it was in 2004. It's almost 200 times bigger than the biggest casino in Vegas, which, trust me, they're big. My feet still hurt. This article is packed to the gills with fun facts about all of that, so definitely give it a read. Data is fun. Data is life. CubeSats are 10 by 10 by 10 centimeter cubes that can be filled up with, well, basically anything you want to launch into space. It costs about $150,000, which sure is more than you or I want to spend, no matter how badly we want our stuffed animals to orbit the Earth. But that's dirt cheap for what amounts to space in space. 10 by 10 by 10 centimeters will hold a lot of things like sensors, relays, and other science stuff I don't understand, but will be wonderful for scientists around the world. It's democratizing space through a standardization, which on one hand is a good thing. On the other hand, there are already 21,000 objects orbiting the Earth, and I'm not really sure we need to add more. Marvel rolled out the Captain Marvel website, and it is a delightful GeoCities clone. Captain Marvel is set in the 1990s, so the website is filled with all the stupid stuff we did on our websites back then. Animated GIFs for buttons, red text on green backgrounds. It basically looks like a 4-year-old with an open box of crayons designed it, which is pretty much what every website looked like back in the 90s. Yes, including mine. Amazon has a new MMO coming in which 17th century settlers find a new virgin territory and build a civilization there. It's one part Fortnite, one part World of Warcraft, one part Walking Dead, and one part extremely racist. Because in this new land there are no Native Americans. This takes place on a fictional island, but there are natives there. But they're zombie-like creatures, which makes this whole thing just hunky-dory, I guess. Seriously, Amazon, you're sending 17th century characters into a new land where they have to forage, build new towns, and defend themselves from natives, which, sure, they're zombies, but I'm not really sure that makes things better. Why not just hand out smallpox blankets while you're at it? And finally, have you ever been watching a sports game and decided that you could manage the team better than the coach? Well, if you live in Chicago, you definitely have. But now a football team, that's real football, not that American crap, is allowing 2,000 fans to make managerial decisions like starting lineup, substitutions, etc. It's a fascinating look at how games in the future could be, but probably never will be managed. But that is going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on Digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast player. Once again, I'm Adam Dowd, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again tomorrow.